conversation, I'm now delighted to welcome and introduce Bala, President and General Manager of Westpac Asia, to give this evening's opening remarks.
Many of you have heard the Chinese say this almost as a curse. May you live in interesting times. And that was meant as a curse. Today's modification of that curse is slightly different. May you live in a globalized world. My daughter, who Alice referred to, who studies in America, all of 21 now, in fact she turns 21 tomorrow, has already lived in 4 continents at the age of 21. And that's what is translating, in my mind, into what this next generation will have to face. It'll have to face the impact of this globalization, the impact of being born in a particular country, spending your early years in another country, and maybe your middle years in a third country, and your eventual leadership years in a fourth country, and who knows, perhaps retire in a fifth country. But one thing very often people forget, that Asia is not one country. It is many countries. And China is different to India, India is different to Indonesia, Indonesia is different to Japan, and Singapore is different to all of them. So every single country is unique, every single country is different. And when we often say that we want to build an Asian expertise, my words of encouragement to you is narrow that down and say you want to build expertise with China or Japan or Indonesia or India, because you're not going to be able to, in a short period of time, be able to build significant expertise across 3 or 4 countries. Very, very difficult to achieve, given the size, the complexity of it.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Cope, and I am Manager of Partnerships and Development at Asialink Business. As Ambassador to the Westpac Bicentennial Foundation Asian Exchange Program, and also a non-executive director on the board of the Australia-China Youth Dialogue, I can tell you it's with great excitement that I get the opportunity to moderate this evening's panel. You're in a very unique position in that you've all studied or you've started your careers in your respective home countries. In light of your knowledge of the local environment, but also an increasing familiarity with Australia, tell me, from your perspective and in your experience in your respective sectors, if you could nail one particular skill that you have used that has led to your success, could you clearly articulate that? Or perhaps there are a set of skills that have really actually helped you, guide you to navigate what is actually often quite a complex field. Yeah.
I think what has worked with me is being at the right place at the right time. And no, well,
for journalists.
No, but what I mean by saying that is that not shying away from saying that yes, I would like to take up this opportunity. Say for example, we are 100 of us in this room, and we all will have opportunities to ask questions, but not many will raise their hand, or not all of them will raise their hand, or someone will wait for someone else to raise that question and someone else to answer it. So while I was alert and I recognized that I was at the right place, I always put my hand first and said that I did like to do this.
Sure. I think, for me, I want to emphasize, there are a lot of opportunity around Australia, China, Australia, India, and Australia, Indonesia opportunity. But to grab those opportunity, we have to be more competitive. So that means we have to have the right skill and perform higher value jobs. So, to me, I always challenge myself, and I always challenge, a lot of young people, when you to think about how can you contribute to this bilateral relationship, always to ask yourself, can you help your client to set up an overall Asia strategy and identify the unique market access point rather than only making an introduction? And can you to influence the key decision maker during the whole negotiation process, and also value add to the business consolidation process rather than performing a translation?
Youth, it's all about relationships. So I would encourage others who are who are keen on building their Asian capabilities to start investing and coordinating your effort towards building relationships. Thank you.